Hello, wonderful beings. I am Anisha, and this is Wheel of Wisdom, episode number 84. I am so happy to have each and every one of you. And I would love to say hi to, all the ones who are present here. So I would love to see your lovely names if you can, say hi. And yeah, and I would also love to know that are you joining us for the very first time or have you been here before? And thank you for all the lovely hearts that just flowed in. I so appreciate your love. Okay, okay, so since there are no comments and mostly hearts, so I'm assuming that you are here more of like, just to be here and not in a very interactive mood. And that's okay as well. I would love to hang out with you anyway. So yeah, thank you for letting me know of your presence by pressing the heart. And just in case, I'm going to just share with you a little bit as to what we do in these lives. So just in case you are joining us for the very first time, and then we can begin with the live. So, so what we do in these lives is we start with the meditation to open ourselves to raise our vibrations so that we can receive that higher wisdom later on. So once we have gone through a meditation, today's meditation is going to be about 10 minutes long, so around that time. So after the meditation, we move on to the next part of the life, which is spinning the wheel of wisdom. So we spin the wheel so that the universe, God, spirit, source can choose a book for us to do a reading from. And from there, we include more of the fun where I ask you guys to choose some numbers by tuning into your intuition. And then I pick a number by tuning into my intuition. And yeah, and then do a reading from that page number. So read the highlighted paragraph from that page because as I was reading the books included in the wheel, I made notes of like the insightful paragraphs or transformational exercises from these books. So we are going to read that. And then things flows from there and we will see what happens next. So, are you guys ready for the meditation? You can either type ready or just, press the heart to let me know that you're ready and we can begin with the meditation, the first part of the live. Okay. Hi, Amber. Lovely to see you here. Amber says, hola, you all, and a lot of love. Welcome, Amber. Welcome back again. Samia says, yeah, Samia is ready for the meditation as well. And hi, welcome, Samia. Thank you for choosing to spend your time with me. Okay, guys. So I'm going to take a sip of water and then we will begin with the meditation. Until then, you can also find a place to settle in if your current place is not comfortable. Hmm. Okay, Samia says lovely. Okay. So begin by coming into a comfortable position. You can either sit, stand, or lie down, whatever your body needs right now. And as you settle into this posture, if you feel safe, allow your eyes to close all the way down. Or alternatively, you can choose to lower your gaze, looking downward at the floor or surface in front of you. Taking a deep breath in and slowly letting it go. Again, a deep breath in and a long, soft exhale. Feel yourself arriving in the here and now with each breath, arriving in the body. And now imagine a gentle light. It is warm and golden. So imagine this warm and golden light beginning to glow at the crown of your head. This is the light of loving awareness and healing. And as this light travels through your body, it touches each part with tenderness, letting that part feel seen, valued, and cared for. So let's begin. See this light flow over your head into your brain, easing any pressure, quietening the noise, and softening the weight of constant thought. So, as you imagine your head being filled with this golden light, allow this part of you to be seen. So, feel free to silently repeat after me. Thank you, my dear head, for helping me think, feel, and navigate the world around me. As you see this light offering stillness and space to breathe for your brain, the light begins to move down to your eyes, ears, and your whole face. soothing the strain of overstimulation, the tightness of held expressions. So, letting go of any tension in the muscles of your face and saying thank you. Thank you, my dear senses, for showing me the world in color, sound, scent, and textures. So, appreciating how these different organs of your body allow you to feel the world in color, sound, scent, and taste. And saying to this part, saying to your whole face, I offer you rest and softness through this healing light. And now visualize this light flowing down to your neck and inside your neck. So see this light pouring into your throat, releasing the tightness of unsaid words and the burden of held back truth, and acknowledging this part by saying, thank you, my dear throat, for speaking, swallowing, and connecting inside to outside. Thanking your neck for allowing you to expand your vision, to expand your field of vision, and then saying, I offer you some ease and freedom to express through this healing light. And now notice the warm light filling your shoulders, arms, and hands, easing the tension of overcarrying, of overdoing, and saying silently, "Thank you, my dear shoulders and hands, for all the ways you give, hold, work, and reach out." So, as you imagine the light touching this part of your body, see it offering some relief from effort and giving your hands permission to pause. And now notice the light flowing gently into your chest and into your heart, soothing any ache, softening grief, and loosening the grip of protection so that the light can enter the heart. And silently whispering to your heart, "Thank you, my dear heart, for feeling everything, joy and sorrow, connection and courage, and all the different emotions that make me feel alive." And seeing the light offering tenderness and safety to your heart to open up. And now notice the light entering your abdomen, feeling your belly lit up with this light, unwinding any tightness and loosening any knots of worry or fear. And saying to this part, "Thank you, my dear belly, for digesting food and experience, for housing intuition and life itself." And as you visualize the light in your belly, bringing balance, soothing the belly, and filling it with trust, you see that the light begins to flow down, begins to expand, to your back, softening any stiffness, releasing any burdens, and easing the weight of holding it all together. And saying to your back, thank you, my dear back, for your silent strength and stability. So notice the light offering your spine and your whole back support and also permission to let go. And finally, you see this light traveling into your hips, down to your thighs, reaching all the way down from your legs to your feet, loosening heaviness, calming any sense of restlessness, and easing the ache of long journeys you have taken. And saying to the spark, thank you, my dear legs, for grounding me, for allowing me to move, and for carrying me through life. Imagine the healing light bringing some ease and a space for your legs to simply be just as they are. And now imagine this golden light expanding and flowing through your entire body from head to toe, inside and outside, wrapping your body in healing and love, feeling every part of you glowing as they have received acknowledgement, appreciation, and healing. So, as you let your body bathe in this light, silently affirm, I honor this body exactly as it is. Every breath, every heartbeat, and every step is a gift. I am grateful to be alive in this body today. And as you feel the healing happening right now, take a deep breath in, letting every corner of you be touched by this light. And with the exhale, letting go of anything that you no longer need. So, taking two more deep breaths like this. And when you are ready, begin to return by wiggling your toes and your fingers, and finally opening your eyes. Connecting back with the space around you. Welcome back. Samia says, beautiful voice. We'll get some water too. Yeah, great idea. Hydrate yourself or bring in some movement, whatever it is that your body needs right now. And I'm glad, Samya, that you like the guidance. And I see that some new people have joined us while, we were meditating. So, welcome to you all. Welcome to Wheel of Wisdom, episode number 84. I am so happy to have you here. And I want to let you know, in case you joined late or towards the end of the meditation, that firstly, you can, access this meditation later on through the replays by going to my profile. And in the about section of my profile, you will see a link tree there. So you can access the replay of the live and go through the meditation if you feel called to do that. Because in this meditation, we expressed gratitude and brought some healing to our whole body. And another thing is that I want to let you know, if you have just joined, that the meditation isn't just the whole live. The live had just started, and there is a lot more fun and wisdom to follow. So yeah, stay tuned, until we reach that part where we are going to spin the wheel, choose some numbers, and have some fun while we receive some guidance and wisdom. So And for the ones who did join me in the meditation, I would love to hear, how you found this meditation. And in the comments, you can share that. And if you don't feel like typing, you can always just press the heart somewhere here to let me know that the meditation resonated with you. And yeah, if you like this meditation and if you would like to, check out more of my meditations, then you can follow me if you're new to me because I already have around 44 free tracks on my profile on Inside Timer, and there are around like, you know, many more tracks to come. Like 80 more tracks are in line to be released on my profile because just like this meditation, we do one meditation in each live, and I've recorded those meditations from those lives. And I'm now publishing them as a free track so it is accessible to everyone. So yeah, in case you don't want to miss that, then feel free to, follow me to get notified when those tracks get released. Okay, so now it's time to move to the next aspect of this live, which is the Wheel of Wisdom. Okay, so let me show you guys the Wheel of Wisdom in case you're new to this live. So this is our Wheel of Wisdom, and this wheel contains the name of 31 books, that have been chosen from like the 80 or something books that I've read in the past 8 years in my own journey of transformation. And yeah, and now that we are more open and our vibrations have been raised after practicing some gratitude, we are going to move on to receiving some wisdom or guidance from God, from spirit, from source, from divine, universe, whatever you believe in. So before we, spin the wheel, I invite you guys to take a moment to think, is there anything specific going on in your life regarding which you would like some guidance? So it can be a specific issue or a specific area of your life in which you would like some direction or clarity. So let that come to the forefront of your mind. And if there is nothing specific, you can set an intention that may I receive some general guidance for today. So once you have thought of something, you can let me know by pressing the heart, somewhere here, so that we can move on to spin the wheel and see what wants to come through. Okay, I see some people, have thought of something. Okay, beautiful. Hmm. Okay, we have some hearts now. So let's move on to spinning the wheel. So, holding whatever it is that you need guidance on in your mind as we spin this wheel. Okay, now it is purely amazing because in the previous live and the live before that, this book has been coming up in each of the, like in the last two lives and in this live as well. Out of the 31 books on this wheel. And and every time, yeah, it has come up, this book has delivered us a wonderful piece of wisdom. So yeah, it seems like its job isn't finished. Like there is more that this book wants to convey to us. So, the name of the book that came up is Out of Your Mind. And I love the title. Okay, so And it is especially relevant since we just finished the meditation on, becoming mindful of appreciating and offering healing to our body. So now that we have connected with our body, what better time to read this book, right? So the name of the book again is Out of Your Mind, and the book has been written by Alan Watts. So let's see what this beautiful, amazing book wants to convey to us. Hmm. Okay. Give me a second. Yeah. Okay. So now I would like you guys to choose a number between, um, let me see. Yeah, let me type it. So, so in the previous two lives, I was not able to do this. Like I was not able to ask you guys to choose a number because I thought I didn't had the book. But then I realized as I typed in the name that I did have the book. So maybe yeah, that was meant to happen from this book. Yeah, but whatever it is, let's see what will come through from this book. So before I ask you, before I mention the numbers, I want to let you know, especially anyone who is joining us for the very first time, that you don't need to rush when I say that you need to choose a number between these two numbers. I don't want you to rush at all. Instead, I want you to take your time and see by tuning into your own intuition, see that which number pops up for you. And then mention that in the comment because I am not going to choose like the top number. That is not the criteria. I am going to go through all the numbers that you guys mention and choose a number based on my intuition. Okay. So I invite you guys to choose the number between 11 to 300. Here you go. Hmm. Okay. Thank you, Jessica, Samya, Jen, Matt. Thank you, Karen. A lot of like double numbers, like angel numbers here. So it's like Samya mentioned 111 and then Karen mentioned 222. Interesting. Hmm. I just mentioned the limit as 300, otherwise we would have gotten like 333 as well. Okay, so say 77. Uh-huh. Mm-hmm. Thank you, Debbie. Okay, so now I'm going to go through the numbers. Emily also have mentioned a number, and Alan says, I was thinking 2222. That's like four twos. So let's see. Ellen says I was thinking 2222, but I don't see any chart. Any chart. Oh, okay. Okay, yeah, let's then we are going to consider that number from you as well. Okay. Hmm. Me, um, and like Alan, are you not able to see any charts? Like the comments, are you not able to see any comment? Did you mean that? Maybe if not, then you can like, you know, um log out from the session and then join in again. And hopefully then you would be able to see the lovely comments by the people as well. Okay, so until then, I'm going to choose a number. Oh, okay, you said, Alan says, correct. I can't see my comment. I will try to rejoin. Yeah, sure, you can try to rejoin. Okay. Hmm. Okay. So the number, coincidentally, the number that I am feeling called to is 222 as well. So yeah, it seems like it was meant to be. So thank you, Karen and Ellen, if you have joined us back. Thank you for sharing that number. And let's see what wants to come through from this page. Hmm. Okay. Hmm. So the author says, Ellen says, yes, I see them now. Yay. Wonderful. Happy for you, Ellen. Okay, and we have chosen 222 as you guys, Ellen and like as you and Karen mentioned. So yeah, let's see. Yeah. So the author says, we don't notice the self because the self doesn't need to look at it to look, sorry, again, we don't notice the self because the self doesn't need to look at itself. A knife doesn't need to cut itself. Fire doesn't need to burn itself. Water doesn't need to quench itself. And light doesn't need to shine on itself. However, the whole condensation of Indian philosophy, especially Vedanta, is that it is possible in a certain way to become aware of yourself in the deepest sense and understand that you are the totality. In both Hindu and Buddhist philosophy, this is undertook as moksha or liberation. Liberation from the hallucination that you are just some poor little me. It means to wake up from the kind of hypnosis and discover that you are something being done by this vast, incredible self that has no beginning, no end, neither continuation and nor discontinuation. It's beyond all categories whatsoever. As the Upanishads say, it is not this, it is not that. Anything you can formulate, imagine, or picture will not be the self. So, in order to know the self, you must get rid of every idea in your head. This doesn't mean to get rid of every sense impression and enter a catatonic state of total absorption. So, like where you are just sitting still and not moving and anything. Full moksha or liberation is when You come back out of meditative absorption and see this everyday world just as it looks now. But you clearly see that it is all the self. You become aware of the tremendous interconnectedness of everything. You see that everything goes together, which is what we mean by relativity. So, the author here, mentioned about, um, you know, the knowledge from the Indian scriptures, from the, with Vedas, and also it resonates with the concept of Buddhism, where, you might have heard of like no self. So, you know, everything is us and nothing is us is the same thing, meaning that, so if everything is the self, if everything is us meaning every single one of us. So if everything is the self, is the spirit, if you want to call it that, or soul. So we think of soul like as the part of God. So so if God is everything, then there is nothing separate from it. So everything is that divine, everything is that self. We are everywhere because we are a part of that, or we are that. So once we realize that that identity we have created in our mind of like poor little me, or the person that you call as me, or I, me, mine, everything that you think of as I, me, mine, refer to as I, me, mine, then those dissolve on its own. When the concept of separate self is dissolved, we experience the expansion. And it's not that we are doing this while we are like sitting in, just total absorption, meditative absorption, but it's when we are living, recognizing that and feeling that way, where we are, so the world doesn't change, it is the same, but we know something. We have seen, we have recognized that self, that is everything. And that's why, sometimes in Buddhism, it is known as the concept of no self, that there is no self. And it is not, it is not atheism. It is not like, we are just in a mechanistic world where just, we are like parts of machine and stuff. But it's more of like, if everything is that, then and there is nothing separate from it, then there is no self, there is no separate self. We are that everything. So yeah, that is what is coming up for me, as I read this. And and if you would like to sit, spend some time sitting with this idea of like who are you, reflecting on that question of who am I, then I am going to share with you a track of mine where I don't answer it for you. I am no one to answer it for you, but where we just sit together to explore that, to spend some time, to hold some space, to explore this. That who am I really? And at least for those few moments, feel that expansiveness, or at least get out of the idea of you, of whatever your name is, get out of the idea of Lisa, Samia, Ellen, or whoever is present here, Karen. So get out of the idea of what I think of myself, what I think I am, and explore and sit and see what you truly are. So, yeah, if you would like, you can check this out. Okay, let me see through the comments, go through the comments before we move on to the next reading. Lisa says, just joined. Sorry I'm late. That's perfectly all right. I so appreciate you, taking out the time to be here. And I'm glad that you were able to make it on time because I don't believe that you are late. You were just meant to hear this particular message. And thank you for choosing a number, Lisa. We are going to consider that maybe in the next reading. Okay. Samia says emotions make me feel separate. Hmm. How so? Can you explain, Samia? What do you feel comfortable explaining? Like what do you mean emotions make you feel separate? And if anything else is coming up for you guys as I did this reading or said what I said, feel free to share in the comments because I believe that it's not that the wisdom is coming through me or through this book. This is the space where we are open to it and it can arrive from anywhere, from any place. Oh, okay. Samya says, I mean, my issues are my issues. So I don't feel that openness to others. Yeah. So, yeah. So when you said that, what came to my mind was how how us and our problems start to look small when we are sitting and just looking at the clouds in the sky, at a beautiful sunset, or at the stars, and especially for me, the stars and the moon. On a night when I'm taking a walk on my terrace and I look up and I see the moon far away, and the stars even more further away from us, and still here with me, lighting up um, the world as well as the space within me. And when I look at that, I feel small in a nicer way. And and at that point, I lose connection with myself, meaning like I end here, I end here, and then there is something else. So I lose connection with this boundary, and I feel like there is no I, and I'm just being. So I hope that whenever you're facing, whatever issue that you're facing, then you can find something that make you feel expansive for a moment so that you can just take a breath. You can just have the space to be without being overwhelmed by the emotions that issue is, filling you up with. And it's not just the outer thing, when you would learn to sit with your emotions, you would also see that you are expansive enough, that your awareness is so much more expansive to be, drowned in any emotion. So, yeah, so that was a very big insight for me when I understood, when I, practiced being mindful of my emotions. Um, yeah, Samia, would you like me to share um like the lesson in which I have mentioned in which I have guided you how to go through your emotions, how to move through your emotions, and in a way that you're not overwhelmed, but you also process them instead of suppressing them. So let me know, Samia, if you would like me to share that, and I will mention that here. Okay. So let's move on to one more reading. Let's see. So again, holding in your mind whatever it is that you need guidance on, So holding any specific issue or that general intention in your mind as we spin the wheel. Okay. So the book that came up for all of us is The Here and Now Habit. The Here and Now Habit, a guide to the present moment. And this book has been written by Hugh G. Barney. So let's see what this book wants to say to us. Larry says your English is excellent. Thank you, Larry. Um, hmm. I'm glad that I'm able to convey my thoughts, and language is not a barrier. Okay, let's see. The here and now habit. I'm just choosing the numbers to give you guys. Okay. So I invite you guys to choose a number between 50 to 136. Here you go. Again, no rush. Take your time to, to share whatever number is coming up for you. Thank you, Mora. Thank you, Lisa. Hmm. A lot of six. Oh, okay. Okay, Samia, what we can do is that, would you be open to watching the replay instead? Because this is getting, recorded, so you can check out the replay and yeah, and listen to the answer. And the last question that I asked you, which I'm going to share again, is that since you mentioned the emotions are difficult for you sometimes, so I asked you that would you like me to share a resource that I have that would help you, process those emotions without feeling the need to suppress them. So, yeah, would you like me to share the resources with you here? And if not, then that's okay as well. Okay, sure, I can share that. Give me a second. And until then, other people, you guys can keep on choosing the number. Um, I see that Mora, Lisa, and Matt has chosen a number, so you can, mention your numbers as well until I share some resources for Samya and anyone else who, would like to learn how to feel your feelings or sit with them or process them rather than just trying to suppress them because that never works. So, okay. Yeah. So, Samya, I have a lesson in this course that I've mentioned here, which is a therapist's guide to accepting life's difficult situation. So, in the final lesson, I have included like a guided practice that is going to help you, learn how to process the emotions and take you through the journey rather than just telling you. Okay. And if you feel like you can, check out this whole course if that resonates with you. Um, let's see. Samia says, I broke a tap and thought the place will be flooded. I was so scared. Felt like my mind didn't want me to listen to you. Then that's okay. Maybe, just handling the crisis at hand and coming back to whenever you feel ready to, just just giving yourself that grace to be with what is urgent. And then later on, you can always, check out the replays to listen to me. That's okay. So, yeah, I'm going to, share the resources and you can just, if you can, you can save it. Or if you, can't, then you can watch the replay and know the name of the resources so you can access them. Okay. And I hope that, yeah, the tap thinking, that you're able to somehow fix it, uh, or maybe call someone, ask out for help to someone else who can fix it. Okay, let's see. Yeah, so I'm going to share, the resource that I mentioned, and then we can move on to the next reading. Hmm. Yeah. So similar to like previous course, this is also another course in which the last lesson of it and um gives you the skills and the guided practice to deal with the difficult emotions. Okay. The name of the course is The Ultimate Beginner's Guide to Mindfulness Meditation, because mindfulness is an important element to apply anything, any other practice, anything that you learn. Okay, let's see. Samia says yes, hopefully, yes, under control for now. Yeah, that's good to hear. And hmm, yeah, maybe just just search maybe on like some platform or ask a friend for help or something if you need to. And and maybe just take 2, 3 deep breaths to settle yourself, because you mentioned you were scared that the apartment or you know, yeah, your place will be flooded. Yeah. Okay, let's take 3 deep breaths together, Samya. And everyone, we all can always, benefit from deep breaths. Okay. So let's do this together. So taking a deep breath in through your nose and out through your mouth, releasing everything. In through your nose and out through your mouth, releasing all the fear and tightness of your muscles. One final one, in through your nose and out through your mouth, releasing what you can't control in this moment. So, yeah, I hope that you can deal with the situation with more stability or groundedness. Okay, yeah. So I'm going to mention the final resource and we can move, to the next part. So just a second. Samya says, feel better, love you and everyone here. Wonderful. I am so happy that we were able to, invite in some calm into this present moment for everyone. Okay. So, yeah, so I was telling you about the resource. Yeah. Samya says, absolutely wonderful, Samya. I'm happy for you. Okay, yeah. So, the final resource that I have for you and anyone who struggles with feeling dysregulated or would like to learn some techniques to regulate themselves. So, you can go to my profile, and when you scroll all the way down, you would see here a playlist known as self-soothing techniques. So in this, playlist, I have mentioned a lot of different, techniques that therapists, offer to their clients to help them regulate their emotions, to help them feel more grounded and centered, and yeah, all of different resources. So you can check them out if that is something that you need. Okay. So now let's move on to the reading. Anyone new that has joined us, you guys can share a number between 50 to 136. And I see that Moria, Lisa, and Matt has already shared a number. So feel free to share a number as well if you just joined. And the book again that we are going to do reading from is The Here and Now Habit. Thank you, Bridget, for sharing a number. 11 resonates with, Lisa's number. Wonderful. Okay. Hmm. Hi, Sarah. Good morning and welcome. Thank you for tuning in, and I hope that you and everyone present here receive some value and wisdom from this, live. So feel free, Sarah, to add a number between 50 to 136, whatever number that you are feeling called to. Okay. And I'm going to choose a number now. See which number am I feeling called to. Okay. So before I mention whose number I'm choosing, I want to, clarify, especially for anyone who is joining us for the very first time, that um whatever number I choose, like whoever number I choose, it doesn't mean that that reading is just for them. Since you're here, then you were meant to receive that, message. So yeah, so trusting that, opening yourself to that. And the number that I'm going to choose is I'm getting a lot of 111s today. Thank you, Bridget, for, correcting now that you heard the two numbers between which we have to choose. Okay, thank you, Samia, Sarah, Rachel, for choosing a number. Okay, I'm going to go through again one more time. Hmm. Okay, so so Rachel, you just mentioned the number right on time because the number that I'm feeling called to is 245. And thank you, Rachel, for choosing that number for all of us. Okay. Yeah, you just mentioned the number at last. Wonderful. Because I was going to go with another number. Okay. Thank you, Rachel. Yeah, Rachel is happy and celebrating. Beautiful. So let's see what is on page number 245 for all of us. Okay. Yeah, it seems like I would have to go back to that number, Rachel, sorry, because the numbers between which we were choosing were 50 to 136. So yeah, 245 page number do not exist in this book. So yeah, sorry. Okay, yeah, Rachel has mentioned 110. Okay, one more time and see. Should I go with this number or the previous one that I chose? Okay, still feeling called to your number. Interesting. Okay. Then we are going to go with 110. And let's see. Hmm. So the author says, if you are used to thinking and acting in particular ways, over time you may come to believe that you don't have any choice in relation to these thoughts or actions. You may even believe this is who I am. Wonderful. It is like connecting to the previous reading of how we start to develop this separate as well as small sense of self, where we assign certain beliefs or thoughts based on how we act or how we think. Like I'm a lazy person, I'm a negative person, I'm an optimistic person, whatever it is. So we assign, all of these different things and label it that this is me, this circle in which all of these things fall is me. So the author says, and how this happens is if we are used to thinking and acting in particular ways, over time you may come to believe that you don't have any choice in relation to these thoughts or actions. You may even believe this is who I am. So, if you believe that you are a negative person or you are a pessimistic person, then you might feel like I don't have a choice in terms of how I think. This is who I am. And this is often used as an excuse by people like, this is who I am, as a way to stay in that circle of what they have created, their self created identity, their own mental model of who they are. So the author continues, if you have developed a habit of responding angrily to small annoyances or slights, you may easily believe I am an angry person, or people are stupid and think that. So the beliefs can go either way. So the core beliefs are either about ourselves, so they are in three different categories according to, like, few therapeutic approaches. So a belief can be about yourself, like I am this, I am that. A belief can be about other people, like people are this or people are that. So in this case, people are stupid. Sometimes, you know, other belief might be people are rude, people are selfish, people are unsafe. Or the third category can be world, about the world or life, like life is unfair, or the world is unsafe, or the life is full of misery. So these are like the three, basic levels of belief that people have, the categories. Okay, I'm going to drink some water and then we will continue. Rachel says that's very true. I'm glad, Rachel, that this is resonating with you. Yeah, so you may easily believe I'm an angry person or people are stupid and think that you have no choice but to get angry when someone does or says something that rubs you the wrong way. So, when we have these rigid beliefs about ourselves or other people, then we feel like there is no other choice. Like, this is how things are, this is how people are, this is how I am, and I cannot do anything about it. I cannot change it. And because of this and this rigidity, I have never seen this rigidity like benefiting anyone in terms of all the clients I've seen or in my own life. So, hmm, so you feel like there is no other choice because that's how things are, that's how I am. So, if you have smoked cigarettes for many years, you may believe I am a smoker, or I don't have the willpower to quit. And these beliefs can help keep you addicted to cigarettes. Another example is if you aimlessly surf the web for the first hour of work, you may believe I will never be productive at work and that you can't be mindful when you sit down at your desk in the morning. Another example is if you are in a constant state of stress, rushing to get everything done, you might believe I am never going to be able to keep up or things are never going to change. And this beliefs helps fuel your stressful state. So, the kind of beliefs that you have determine the kind of thoughts that you're going to have in a particular situation because different people have a different perspective, even if they are in the same situation. So, your beliefs are the one determining what are the kind of thoughts that you have, and that determines the kind of actions and the kind of feelings that you're going to have. And since you believe that I am, for example, like I'm an angry person, or people are stupid, then in a situation when someone does something, for example, someone is driving the wrong way, according to you, the wrong way, or maybe, okay, according to traffic rules, also the wrong way, then you are going to, get annoyed. So the belief is going to control your thought is like, what is wrong with this person? For example, if you have this thought, or, is he mad or whatever it is that your thought is going to be. And then you're going to feel annoyed, frustrated, and then you're going to act in a way you are not going to drive, maybe like a calm person would, or maybe you are going to spill over that anger to the next conversation that you have, the place that you reach, because energy is, so every emotion is an energy. And if an energy has been forming based on the thoughts that you have, gotten. So if you're feeling frustrated or angry, that is an energy within you, and that is going to affect you in some or other manner. Hmm. Let's see. Okay, so before I dive into the comments, yeah, so touching on this, so if you are resonating with this, or if, you know, you are now understanding the patterns or why you do the things that you do, or if you would like to learn to first of all bring some awareness, because as I said when I was mentioning another course, like, mindfulness, that mindfulness or awareness is always the first step to change. So first you need to be aware of what are the beliefs that are running your life. They are in the background, they are in your subconscious, but they are the one that determines what are the results that you're going to get in your life. What is the way that you're going to feel most of the times in your life. What are the actions that you're going to do, how you're going to behave towards people, towards your loved ones, and so on and so on. So they are the ones that are running your life from the backstage. So if you want to shine the light of awareness on them, then I do have something for you guys. Let me put it here. Yeah. So I try to include all the techniques, everything that I knew of. Yeah. Rachel says, please share. Yeah. So I hope that this is going to be helpful because I try to include everything that I knew of to become aware, or everything that I have applied to my clients to become aware of the things that are running their life, the things that are in the background, the limiting beliefs that, because sometimes when we just become aware of them, sometimes that is enough because we realize, okay, this might be not true. The way that I'm thinking about the situation, let's back up and see. Maybe this is not true because this is that belief of mine and that doesn't truly serve me. And that is enough, just recognizing, if you are able to, once you become aware of the beliefs itself, then in the situation, if you recognize that this is my belief acting up and this is not the truth about the situation, then that illusion, like it crumbles and you are able to It gives you space to make a choice that do I still want to believe that way, or do I want to do things differently in the situation or from now on? And yeah, and it would take time to reach that place, but this is a start. So, yeah, the name of the course for anyone who is not able to see is Master Your Mindset by Identifying Your Limiting Beliefs. So, if you would like to know what are the beliefs that you have about yourself or the people or world that are limiting you, then I hope that this helps you, find them. Rachel says, thanks, you are amazing. Thanks. I'm glad that, this resonated with you in some manner and you're feeling hopeful about it. Okay, let's see. Samya says, can be such a work to change beliefs. Maybe I secretly believe I am not worthy of the life I want. Hmm. Yeah, that might be a belief, that might not be a belief. So and that thank you for mentioning that because that is a common belief for certain people when they think of when they think of I really want this thing. But a part of them believes like, but you don't deserve it, or you're not worthy of it, or maybe you haven't worked hard enough to be rich, to be happy, to be successful, or whatever it is that you want. So maybe there is certain criteria based on which a part of you is judging you. Or, yeah, so there might be like many different reasons. But if you do realize that, that, yeah, there's this belief about myself, then you can start working on this thing. Then you can start working on these, changing those beliefs or just naming them that right now I am having the belief that I am this. Okay. So whenever you start this belief acting up, once you name it, its power loses. It's kind of like okay, it's kind of like when it is dark, and we are alone in the room, we're feeling afraid. Like maybe as a child, we are feeling afraid, or we see a shadow, okay, on our window, and it seems like a ghost or something. Okay, at least as a child, or maybe sometimes as an adult also. Yeah, so we get afraid. But when we shine the light of awareness, we realize that that was just a tree. That was just a shade or the shadow of the tree, and the illusion dissolves. So sometimes it can be that way, and sometimes it might need a lot of other work as well. So, yeah, so we need to, we need to see, we need to work. Yeah, Samya, I know, I can understand. It sometimes feel like it is such a work to change belief. And maybe this might be another limiting thought that it takes so much hard work to change a belief. And maybe you can try experimenting with simple techniques to change ones, that maybe it is not such a hard work. Maybe just try a simple technique of reflecting back on my day and seeing did any limiting belief came up, in the situation that I found hard today. Just doing that, and this would increase your ability to become more mindful of those beliefs that when they come up, and when they do, just name them that this is that I'm not worthy story, or this is that I'm not good enough story. So yeah, this is going to bring some distance. Okay, so Samya says yes, I'm going to persist. Love that. Okay, yeah. And if you would like to experiment some techniques to change your beliefs, okay, let me share that here. Yeah. So this particular course that I have mentioned here, which is Transform Your Negative Thoughts and Master Healthy Thinking. So I am, you're like mainly focused on thoughts, but the techniques are applicable to beliefs as well. So maybe once you identify your beliefs, you can apply the techniques in this particular course because I mentioned thoughts because thoughts are comparatively easier to change, but beliefs, since they are like very deep rooted, so sometimes it requires working with someone else to, to dissolve them, to see, because we have like this limited view. And when we are working with someone else, like a coach, a therapist, or like someone else, someone trained or in this field or something, then they are able to see, like have a 360-degree view rather than just our limited view. So yeah, so it, those techniques, those are the same techniques that I have mentioned in the course that works for beliefs as well. But sometimes we need some other person to help us through that rather than just us doing all of the work. And yeah, and sometimes that feels like, Samia, as you said, that it is too much work. So sometimes it feels nice to have help from other person, to have guidance, or yeah, just have someone by your side as you go through that. Okay, Rachel says save that course too. Wonderful. Okay, so I'm going to go through your comment. Anyone else? Okay, Rachel have few comments. Hmm. And I see like it is, the time is get like going to be over, but yeah, I'm going to just quickly brush through comment. Rachel says, I am glad, Rachel. Thank you so much for sharing that. How you realize that your identity shifted from I'm a happy person to I'm an angry person, and you question that. That is the most important thing, to question it rather than just, you know, taking it, whatever your mind throws at you, taking it for at face value, question it. That, is this serving me? Is it helpful? Is it not? Is it true? Is it 100% true? So questioning that. Um, yeah, so, and I love that, I love that, that you had that awareness and that ability to challenge that in the moment, or maybe after, whatever, you know, it's a process. Hmm. And thank you, Rachel, for sharing like such a vulnerable, experience from your life. And I can see that a part of you has, developed this belief and is trying to protect you from being hurt or cheated on again, again. And and that part of you has a positive intention, but the belief, we need to see that, is this belief serving me at this point in my life, or is it not? Is it harming my relationships? Um, Yeah, and we see, how a belief dictates how we do. Like if we believe about this person, then we can behave in terms of we cut them off, right? So, yeah, so the question that is again coming up for me is to just ask ourselves that, is this belief serving me at this point in my life? Because the beliefs have been formed because they served you at certain point of your life, and especially in the childhood, because that's when, all of these things are learned. And not to blame like any caregiver or anything, because they also learned the beliefs from someone else. So yeah, just asking ourselves questions and challenging, that is the main point. Challenging whatever your mind throws at you rather than just believing it, taking it as truth. Rachel says thank you. Wonderful. Okay. Samia says, absolutely love being supported. Yeah, I am glad. Yeah, I think yeah, everyone, not everyone. Sometimes people are like, if I take help, it means I'm weak. Another belief that, hinders our progress. So yeah, I love that, you are so open to support and help. Hi, Ashwathama. So happy to see you here. Ashwathama is a fellow teacher. And Ashwathama says, advance happy 1,000 followers. Thank you so much, Ashwathama. That is so very kind of you and sweet of you. Yeah, yeah, I am very close to like touching this amazing milestone and cultivating a community of like 1,000 followers. And if you are new to me, I would absolutely love your support and love to stay connected. So, yeah, if you feel like helping me touch that milestone, then you are welcome to click on the follow button or maybe share it with your friends, if you found this session helpful or anything. um, okay. Rachel says, how do we work together? Rachel, maybe like, or anyone who wants to work together with me, you guys can like check out the link tree in my profile. So, in my profile, when you go to the About section, there is a link tree. So, yeah, you will see how you can work with me from there. Okay. Okay. You're welcome, Rachel. And so since Ashwatthama mentioned that uh that milestone, I have another milestone to share with you guys, which is that my next live on Insight Timer is going to be my 100th live. And yeah, I'm really excited. I'm really looking forward to that session. So I really hope that anyone who is present here, I hope to see each and every one of you in that session day after tomorrow. It just got live. The event just got live, but so I'm not able to share it here. But you can, go to my profile and just book a session from there. Sorry, like RSVP for the live event. So when you go to my profile and you would go to, let me see, yeah, event section, you will see here the live event that is day after tomorrow. So I would love to see each and every one of you there. um, hmm. Okay, let's see. And now that we reached the end of the session, I have a few announcements to make and also a gift that I offer to all the women who attend my live and, stay till the end. So, so firstly, I'm going to make like quickly go through the announcements for anyone who is joining us for the very first time. So the first announcement is that this whole live is getting recorded and you can access the replays through my profile in case you missed the meditation or if you would like to check out my other lives in the series. So, the way to do so is you can go to my profile, go to the About section, scroll all the way down, and when you will scroll down, you will see a link tree here. So, in this link tree, you will see Wheel of Wisdom replay written. And from there, I have like it includes a playlist of all the lives up until now, including this one. And the number of this live is episode number 84. So, yeah, you can check this out. And although it does take like 1 hour to get uploaded on my channel, so what you can do is if you want immediate access, you can join my group on Insight Timer. It is a free public group, and the name of the group, let me mention it here. Yeah. So you can either search for wonderful beings in like the search box on Insight Timer, or you can go to my profile, okay, and scroll all the way down. Okay, let me do this. Yeah, so like when you are scrolling all the way down, and by the way, this is the track that got released today. So, as I said, that in each live we do a meditation, and now I'm releasing them as a free track one by one because I have like 80 or more than 80 meditations recorded. So, yeah, this is a track that got released today, and the name is The Energy Reset Balance All Your Seven Chakras. So, it is like the last track of the chakra series. So, yeah, this was like the chakra series that we did. And all of it, I have organized all of this stuff in the form of playlist here. Let me see. Yeah. So here you will see the chakra playlist, balance and heal all your seven chakras, including like affirmation, chants, and visualization, everything. And other tracks from this Wheel of Wisdom series, I have created a playlist for that as well. Wheel of Wisdom meditations. It includes all the meditations done in this Wheel of Wisdom live. And yeah, and I already mentioned like the other playlist to I think yeah, I mentioned the playlist to Samia here, the self-soothing techniques. So yeah, you can check out these. I have arranged my content in the form of playlists, so it is easier for you to navigate. Yeah, I was telling you about the group. So when you scroll all the way down, you will see here at the end, wonderful beings. So this is my little community on Inside Timer, where after each live, I post a summary, including like the heading of including like the summary of the live, like the type of meditation that we do, the hmm, yeah, I need water. Yeah, that's why my brain was going out. It says hydrate yourself first. Okay, yeah. So I was telling you about the summary. Yeah. So in that summary, I include the type of meditation that we do, the readings, the books from which we read, and yeah, any other stuff also I mentioned in that group, as well as if a new track is released, I update that there so that you don't miss out on anything. So yeah, if you are interested, you can join that little community of mine on Inside Timer, or if you don't feel like joining the group, you can just, simply follow me to get notified when the new track get released or when the new live event get released. Um, let's see. We have some comments. KD says, Rachel, I get it. Sometimes we just don't know who folks really are because we have been so respectful and trustworthy. It is infuriating when we find out that folks have gaslight us. Take a deep breath and trust your intuition and hone your instincts. Thank you, KD, for sharing, for for offering understanding and for making Rachel feel heard and seen with what she shared. And yeah, a wonderful advice that take a deep breath and trust your intuition. Rachel says, thanks, KD. You're right. Sometimes we don't know who people are. I will trust my intuition. Wonderful. Um, Rachel says, where we find the group, I will check out the chakra healing and reset. Yeah, I hope that you will like it because every track, I think, in that series have received a 5 star. So yeah, I'm assuming that people are enjoying that series. Yeah, you can find the group as well as the playlist in my profile. Okay. Um, hmm. Okay. And now the time to announce the gift. So, the gift that I offer to all the women who attend my lives and stay till the end is I offer a complimentary session with me. So, if you are a woman who would be interested in a 1 hour free coaching session with me, then you can message me on Insight Timer that Anisha, I'm interested, and I would be honored to guide you to walk besides you in your journey. And the way to message me is you can again go to my profile. Okay. If you're already following me, you would see the follow button becomes a donate button, and above it, three dots appear. Click on the three dots and go to message teacher. So from here, you can message me that Anisha, I'm interested, or something like that. And yeah, and we can schedule that as soon as possible. And if you are wondering, should I invest my time or energy in this? Then I can assure you that you're going to leave that session with at least one powerful insight, because that has happened with every single woman that I've worked with so far. Okay. Yeah, I see people are, loving this. Yeah, I just started doing this in February, and it has been so very fulfilling to, offer this, to be able to offer this. So, yeah, thank you so much. Samya says, OMG, this is my manifestation. I would be honored to be guided by you. Oh, that is so sweet. Samya says, thank you so much. Rachel says, thank you for your gift. Absolutely the best thing. Oh, thank you so much, guys, for your love. And I hope that you guys receive something of value from that as well. Okay, so I guess this is the end. And if you found this live valuable in some manner, if you enjoyed the space or my energy or whatever it is, if you found this helpful in some way, and if you would like to support me in continuing these live sessions, and continuing putting my time and effort into these, then you can support me by making a donation of whatever amount that you feel called to. There is no like pressure at all, but you know, every single amount is deeply appreciated by me, as it really allows me to continue doing what I love and to offer resources or the space or even the complimentary session to those who need it, to make them available and accessible to all. So, yeah. Yeah, I'm going to take one last sip. So, yeah, that's the end of the session. Thank you so much for your presence, for the amazing, beautiful comments, for the lovely hearts that you send my way. And thank you so much, really, for tuning in and giving this live a chance to reach you. I bow down to the divine within you. Namaste. I will see you soon, day after tomorrow. Till then, take care. Bye bye. Looking forward to read your message, Samya. Bye bye. See you guys day after tomorrow in the 100th live. Bye. Namaste, KD.